Sienna Miller's 3 words. Would you guys get bummed if I told you that boho was not one of her 3 words? I hope not, because it isn't anymore. When we met her, I will admit that she did epitomize that boho chic vibe, but as she has grown up and evolved, I think that that word has kind of turned into something else. So now I would say that Sienna Miller's 3 words are slouchy, vintage, and polished. The reason that it took me so long to do this is because there was a lot that I was playing with here, but I am going to defend my selection. As I was looking through photos of Sienna Miller's style in the past few years, the first word that I came to was slouchy. I think that slouchy is kind of similar to undone or casual, but I feel that Sienna always has something that feels a little bit baggy or oversized or kind of worn in like that nice, perfect slouchy way. Some comparisons. So for Mary-Kate Olsen, for example, I use the word messy just because I feel like there is always something like a little bit messy and kind of textured to her style. And for Kate Moss, I use undone. But for Sienna, I feel like slouchy works because there's kind of like a softness to the slouch. And I think that that very much goes into her second word, which is vintage. I also toyed with the word worn because I feel like everything that she wears feels very worn and loved, but I kind of felt like vintage was maybe a better descriptor. Even in her 7 Looks, 7 Days video, she says the more battered, the better. So she likes when things are really worn in and vintage. I think it gives her more neutral pieces some texture when they feel worn. Nothing feels too perfect, nothing feels too new. So slouchy and vintage. But here's where the third word is very important, because I think that you can get away with being very slouchy and vintage if you also have the word polished in the mix. She even said this in her video. She likes to expedite chic by adding a really nice bag or a nice shoe because that will make the slouchy vintage pieces feel just a little bit more styled and put together. To me, this look really epitomizes her 3 words. So slouchy, we have kind of the lower rise pants and the sneakers. It all just feels very relaxed and kind of soft and slouchy. Polished, we have the blazer. I think that that just kind of gives the look a finishing touch. And then vintage. To me, this necklace feels very vintage and feels very unique, but the look in general also feels quite worn and a little bit classic in the way that kind of brings in that vintage feeling.